What is going on, warriors of Tamaris? Welcome to Call of Dragons video on the channel. Today we're gonna check out the newest infantry addition to the game, aka Mr. Mogro. I call this guy the most broken infantry to ever be added in the game. Today we're gonna see what this guy is capable of. Gonna show you some talent trees, artifacts that you can use with this beast, and how you can get the best out of this awesome infantry hero we have in the game. If you're new here, subscribe for more content. Turn on that bell notification and never miss out. Like the video, share it with your friends, drop some comments down below. Let's get started. Okay, warriors of Tamaris, this is the season of strife. Winter is upon us. The devs have introduced two brand new infantry heroes in the game. We have Mogro and we have Danfel. Today, we're gonna discuss Mogro and see what he is capable of doing. You get this guy from the strongest lord or that wield that you get at the beginning of a new season. So make sure you get him from there. The strongest lord is going to be very competitive. In my opinion, I think this is the most broken infantry in the game. And you must have him on your roster because he brings a new fighting style to infantry. Something that infantry have been missing for a very long time. Most infantry depends on counter attack. If you're not attacking them, they are not getting merit. But this guy goes out there and gets the merit by himself. So let's see his rage skill. Ashes of Rage. Gains lash out for 3 seconds. Meanwhile, target is branded and bruised for 3 seconds. So lash out is going to deal diffuse damage to 3 targets every second for 3 seconds. So the damage output is 450 3 times, which is like 450 9 times to 3 targets within 3 seconds. It is diffused, so some of it will be reduced. So this is just crazy. Imagine what you're gonna do with a hero skill critical. It's gonna be nuts. On top of that, you can bruise the enemy minus 30% HP for 3 seconds, which is very good. Moving on to the second skill, Run Chorus Rampage, the most disgusting skill in the whole of Call of Dragons. When the Legion inflicts a debuff upon a target via an innate skill, the effect is also transmitted to up to 2 surrounding targets. Targets are also prioritized for lash outs and future effect transmission. So when you do this skill, you get a hero skill damage dealt bonus of 15%. The effect duration is 10 seconds. So this innate skill says the 5 fixed skills that every hero starts out with do not include their talents. So Mogro is going to spread his bruise to 3 other targets, making 3 other targets have minus 30% HP. The good thing about with this skill is that you can spread the debuff of anyone you pair up with this guy. I have tested it with Mr. Forondil. I tested this skill with Mr. Forondil, and guess what? Forondil was spreading his cowardice to 2 other legions nearby as well. So 3 legions were missing their normal attack for 3 seconds with a Danfel in the lineup. So if you're planning on making a multiple cavalry lineup, put this guy behind your Forondil. You're going to become like immortal. Your cavalry lineup will become immortal because with this guy, you're going to force them to miss their normal attack. And if you're rushing towards 3 ranged legions, they're going to miss their normal attack 100% because you get unyielding rush with Forondil. That's going to be nuts. So let's keep continuing with the skills. I just wanted to show you guys how broken this skill is. It is super awesome. I like it. And then the third skill is Gold Dust. Legion infantry unit gain 10% attack and then 20% defense, which is just beautiful, making him stronger for the open field. You also have the Unflinching, which is for the garrison. Do I even need to read this? Damage dealt bonus 10%, HP bypass 10%. While you're garrisoning a city, you have a 10% chance to trigger this skill, which is not bad. And then the Awakening. When dealing damage to a branded enemy legion, deals additional physical skill damage. Damage factor 200. Effect can be triggered once every 5 seconds. So the target that you're targeting is gonna take 200 additional damage. So this guy is absolutely broken. Part of the reason I've decided to dump all of my tokens on this guy. I'm gonna get him to 5 stars and then, I'm gonna get him to 551 and then take him to 5 and 6 stars eventually, because there are so many places that I'm gonna be using him this season. Let us go over some amazing pairings that you can use with Danfell. This is where things are gonna get interesting. The number one pair is obviously Mr. Danfell over here. So you're gonna pair a Mogro with the Danfell. You're gonna have to put one of them as the primary depending on what you're looking for. So Danfell has 1600 skill damage factor, and then his second skill is gonna give him resistance. Third skill, you get enough boost for your infantry, and then the fourth skill is where things also gets crazy. When the Legion casts Shield Strike, the target Legion gains debilitated and slow for 6 seconds. So this is a debuff. It simply means Mogro is gonna unleash his second skill to spread this debuff to 2 other nearby targets. Now I haven't tested this. I think it works that way because it was spreading for Rondel debuff. Therefore, I think it's gonna spread this one to 2 other legions as well. So this is gonna be pair number 1. And then we're gonna check out pair number 2. Who else should you use? You're gonna have Mogro and the one and only Goresh over here. This is going to be your skills / counter attack pairing in the open field. Goresh is gonna give you 20% counter attack, and then you put the Spiritborn Talk, you get another 20%. Now you have an infantry that's gonna dish out enough counter attack. On top of that, Goresh has hero skill damage every second, which is nuts. You combine that with Mr. Mogro, now you have an infantry that can do damage through punching people and then also do damage through counter attack, which is having the best of both worlds. So this is another good pairing, and Goresh is gonna give you that 20% resistance when you enter the field to give you some tankiness. On top of that, he has a plus 60% attack. I don't know how this 60% attack is going to contribute to the skill damage of Mr. Mogro. Don't forget, Mogro also has another 10% attack over here. So this is going to be awesome, guys. You can use the Spiritborn Talk with Mogro and Goresh. We're gonna get to the artifact in a bit. So these are the 2 pairings that I can think of. Of course, there are many infantry here that you can try. Many infantry you can pair them with. Another option you have here is Indies. Where is Indies? So Indies has an infirm debuff to 3 targets. So when you put Mogro, one of those targets is going to be branded. And this Indies infirm will be hitting like 5 targets now because Mogro can spread it to 2 other targets. So Indies is hitting 3 people with it, and then Mogro is gonna extend it by another 2. I haven't tested this, but I think it should work the way I am thinking right now. So this infantry is just awesome. It's crazy. You can also put Kinara. Kinara has a debuff here that's gonna target damage dealt reduction. Mogro can spread this if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so these are the pairings that you can use with the heroes. You have many infantry heroes in the game that you can try. This is going to be great. But me personally, I will be using Mogro with my Forondale for cavalry. You can also go Mogro and Danfell, another cavalry march as well. You put Danfell as the primary, and then you give him the Springbird Feather artifact, and you're good to go. And when you're in the Season of Strife, the one with the mastery talents, you can put the 20% Athea's Winged Embrace to give you some more march speed on these 2 if you're using them as a cavalry, or you can use them as an infantry. That next infantry, you can bench Skogul as the infantry on your multiple cavalry marches. That's gonna be awesome. So check out my cavalry guide, it's gonna come soon. Be sure to see what it has to say. Up next, we're gonna check out the artifacts that you can use with Mr. Mogro and anybody that you pair him with. I am super excited for these infantry commanders. They are something else. Most infantry depend on counter attack. If you're not attacking them, they are not getting any merits. A lot of people ignore infantry. You cannot ignore Danfell and Mogro. If you do that, congratulations, you're gonna get destroyed. So let's see the artifact. You can go with the Dragon Scale Armor if you're gonna pair up Mogro with Danfell. So the scale says, your Legion gains range resistance when wielder gain a shield through rage skill. So Danfell is gonna gain that shield with every rage skill, and you're gonna get 18% range resistance. So let me explain to you what happens when you pair up Danfell and Mogro. So you have Danfell primary with the dragon scale armor, okay? So Danfell is gonna enter battle. Immediately, he's gonna get range resistance, minus 20% range damage taken. And then that's gonna go from second number 1 all the way up to second number 4. And around second number 6 or 7, you might have full rage to trigger your first rage skill. And then Danfell is gonna trigger his rage skill. He's gonna get a shield, which is gonna trigger the dragon scale armor. So on turn number 7, you get another 20%. You get another 20%, 18% range resistance from here if you have this at level 5. And then that's gonna go on for 5 seconds. So from turn number 8 all the way up to turn number 11. Range resistance from dragon scale armor. On turn number 11, this thing has refreshed. It triggers again. And then it goes from turn number 12 all the way up to turn number 15. You have range damage taken resistance. And then after turn number 15, guess what? This guy is doing another rage skill. He is triggering the dragon scale armor, which is pretty nice. So this artifact is gonna do magic with these two pairings. It's gonna make them tanky. It's gonna make them kick butt in the open field. This is gonna be amazing, guys. Next pairing, next artifact on the list will be the one dedicated for these two infantry. This one is more of an attack. I think it is what I would use in garrison, because you're gonna get both attack and HP, which is nice. You do damage to 3 targets, and then you also get, you know, hero skill damage dealt when you gain a shield via a rage skill. So this is gonna be nice. You have a lot of options. You can also use, what else? You can use the Spirit Bond Talk if you want to dish out more counter attack to people. 20% counter attack damage dealt to people nearby, and you get shelter. This is gonna be nice, guys. So many awesome artifacts to use. You can use the attack artifacts to see how these guys respond to all this attack that you get over here. Like you can use Mogro and Danfell. Mogro and Goresh with this attack artifact. Just see what they're gonna do on the field. I don't know, but that's something we're gonna have to test. What else do we have here? You have this Fang of Ashkari. It's gonna be nice. You have Greymar's Warhammer, another excellent artifact to use. If you're gonna use Mogro with Forondil, I think you might have to use this because it doesn't have a lot of defense. So this could be a good one to use on Mogro and Forondil. So these are some of the artifacts that you can use with this march to like destroy your enemies on the field. When it comes to Warpet, you have 2 Warpets that you can use for this pairing. The first one is going to be this one right here, known as the Moon Bear. Moon Bear is the first one you use. So you can use Moon Bear. It's gonna be awesome. You're gonna do some crazy damage with this Moon Bear. If not, you can go with the Bruin Bear for some counter attack. It should work great. You can also try using the Golden Rock if you want for the rage. And then if you're in the Season of Strife, you can, the Season of Strife where you have mastery talent, you can get Alistair Lights of Solan skill and put it on your infantry. And you can be able to use this pet as well. So what else do we have? You can also go with Sun Lizard. Sun Lizard should be a good one to help you out with some healing if you want. You can use the Berserk Frederick. Berserk Frederick is going to work well with Mogro with all those debuffs. Now I tested Berserk Frederick with Mogro. You get all 9 stacks. You get the maximum fierce marks. It's crazy. Mogro and Danfell, that is nuts, guys. It's going to max out this arrogance and give you insane damage. So those are the pets that you can use. Now let's check out the talent tree. For the talent tree, it's going to depend on who you pair up with this guy. So I think you're going to have to design your talent tree based on who is going to be the primary or the deputy. So I have this one on the screen, which is for Mogro primary and Goresh as a deputy. If you want to utilize your hero skill damage, you can use this in small scale fights where there are not a lot of people. You can do some serious damage. You can grab this point, you can get rage or counter attack, and then you take the Spirit of Rage as well for the remaining points. I think this should do good in small scale fights, it should be a good one. It might even be useful in large scale fight, especially if people ignore your Danfel. He's gonna be there chilling among the infantry crowd and just smashing people with the hero skill. It should be a good one. What do we have here? This one right here is for the garrison. So this is how I would build my garrison tree. I would go up, go this way, pick all these points along the way. And then when we get over here, you get 100 rage from your normal attack. You get another 100 rage when someone hits you. Here you like get some nice debuff inhibition, which is nice. You're gonna have a few more points left. There is a good talent skill over here, Garrison Rampage, that you can try and pick up, but I personally, I would come in this direction, get the attack, get the intimidation, and then I'll take more rage over here and more rage. So you're gonna have Mogro and Danfel protecting your city. The more rage you have, the more rage cycles you're gonna be doing, which should be nice. I don't really do a lot of garrison, so don't like think my talent tree is excellent, because I don't. I just pick what I think might be useful. So this is what I would use for a garrison. What other talent tree can we use? We have the skill talent tree that you can use as well. This will be good with Mogro Primary and Goresh Deputy, or who else? Danfel, and also Nika. Oh, I forgot about Nika. You can pair Nika with this commander. I should have said that in the hero pairing section. You can also use Nika with this commander. So this is a talent tree that can be good with Nika Deputy, Danfel Deputy, and Goresh Deputy. You just have to switch these 2 points. If it's Goresh, you pick this second one over here. If it's Danfel and Nika, you go with this one at the top, or even Bakar. So you're gonna make your way all the way over here, grab focus all the way to the end, get Raging Tide, and then you're gonna go Thirst for Blood or pick this one. So these are the 3 talent trees that I have, and then the remaining points you can come to this left side. It's gonna depend on what you wanna get in the open field. Some people put all their points in the infantry talent tree branch, which is something you want to do. So this one I said was for Goresh. The reason you take this one is because you want to extend Goresh rage skill to 7 seconds instead of 6, which means you have 1 extra second of 20% resistance and 1 extra second of 60% attack, which can be very, very useful with this pairing. And one more thing about the pet that we need to discuss is, I should have said it in the pet section. Let's see, let's find this pet of, yeah, this pet over here. These 2 skills are gonna help you out with the Goresh and Danfel. So make sure you try to put these 2 skills on your pet. You're gonna get some nice criticals on those hero skill damage. Should be awesome. And that's it for the new infantry heroes, guys. I'm so excited. I'm going to be maxing out this guy. For now, I'm gonna put all of these points on this guy, try to push him to 5551. I'll have 0 left for mages next season. I'll start collecting mage tokens next week. Mage tokens, the collection begins next week. So that's it for the video, guys. I think these infantry heroes are going to be game changers. We just have to wait and see. If you're new, subscribe for more content. Until then, talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.